of which is nothing crazy going on here. It's quite simple. You have your tank readouts. You have your fresh tank, which of course your usable fresh water from your tank itself. If you're at a campsite and using pressurized water, that's irrelevant because you're just using the water straight from the hose. This is only if you're using your water pump that's taking it from the fresh tank. So that's more for off-grid purposes. Or going down the road and you can stop and use the bathroom or something.
Now, how do you? Where's the water pump at?
The water pump itself.
No, I'm saying on here.
The switch.
You just have to turn that on and off right there.
Right.
Okay.
And that's all there is to that.
Okay. And so when you're hooked up to the city water, that's off.
Right. There's no need for it.
Okay.
There's no need for it. Your black tank is just your sewage. That's only your toilet. That's all that is.
Right.
Your gray tank, in this unit, you only have one. So your gray tank is all your other runoff water. So your sink in there, your shower is all going to that one tank. So with your 3 tanks, your 3 readouts for them, this entire panel is motion activated, so it will dim and walk past it, it'll light up. Your battery readout, now we're plugged into shore power right now, your power cord into the pole, so it's gonna recharge, but you do have a new battery, brand new deep cycle marine battery. If you ever go to replace it or add another, make sure it's a deep cycle battery, not an automotive.
Deep cycle?
Mm-hmm. Deep cycle, and it comes categorized as marine/RV. Because an automotive battery is for that quick jolt, that cranking amperage to start the engine. This is more for prolonged storage and draw. So different purposes.
Okay.
You have a quick touch for your main ceiling lights. There's other lights scattered around here and there, but that's for all the ceiling. Your exterior, there's a LED light strip that runs across the body under the awning.
Right.
So that's what that is, the pump we went over. 2 functions for your water heater. You have electric, which is a little heating element in the tank. You have to be plugged in to use that. That's not 12 volt, it's 110 only. Then you have your gas function. So that's kind of you can view it as off-grid, on-grid, campsite, or remote. Depends on your purpose. So the light above it, DSI fault, direct spark ignition fault, that's pertaining just to the gas portion of the water heater. So if this doesn't light, it will throw that light. Okay. And then go through, are my tanks on? Is this good? Is that good? If it's air in the lines, it may take a bit for it to light. We may encounter that right now. We'll see what we get. The only control otherwise, you have no slides, just the awning. I didn't keep it out because it's, the wind or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I can't show you here. There's a maximum point that you want to get it at. The door will stop it, so be aware of it. Can I extend it fully here? I'm not sure. But essentially, when this rolls out and either the fabric drops at the end or you see the metal tube itself, that is approximately where you want to stop it.
No, you just stop it by letting go, right?
Right. Oh, and there's that wind flare. Even it's not even that windy right now, but still. So you saw that fabric drop though.
Yeah.
That tube, that's approximately where you want to have it, because if you keep extending, it can roll back up on itself. It won't destroy it, but it's not good for it. So stop it about there. So these
I guess you don't test it out when a hurricane's coming.
No. And like right now, it's windy, but it's not absurd.
It's not going to
windy.
be,
But that little bit of wind still caught that like that.
Yeah.
So there's no wind sensor or anything, so be aware of that. And Grand Design's warranty is very good, but I don't believe they cover awning wind damage. So you got that light. So it should just be air in the line. So I'll try it again, and it should light off after maybe a few more tries tops. All of this can be controlled remotely with the LCI the Lippert one control app. And your login details are there, so you can do it you don't have to use this ever. You can just use your app on your phone, and that's that. Any questions or anything with the panel?
That's pretty simple.
It's simple.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be intimidated by. Going down is a thermostat. On. I recommend leaving the fan on auto. First setting it starts off on is AC. Choose your cycling temp. We don't need AC right now, that's for sure. But just to get it kicked off, so you can see. And the AC itself, they really don't need to, but they did make it centrally inductive. Right? So have this, which is nice too because it's quieter. Or you can dump all the air right here. Every so often, check your filters in there.
Now, this, I guess that's the heat.
Yes. Yeah. All vents on the world. Everything in the ceiling is all AC. Let's pop on the furnace. Cycle to that. 90 is the cycling temp. That'll cut off. Furnace will come on. Let it.
is what now?
That's the temp it's going to hit and try to maintain. So that's the cycling temp, where it tries to cycle to. So let the furnace get to a temp where you can feel it and verify it. While that's doing that, I suppose we'll come around this way. You got your Murphy bed, his and hers wardrobes. Have you played with this at all? Gotten this
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need to go over it again.
The lights for the all that. You know where those are at?
What switches?
For the
Does this one
There's
not
some
have
lights
light?
tucked back there.
the
Oh.
lights that are back in there.
So the actual
Yeah.
switch to turn them on.
Right.
I like that motion they made for that. It's quite cool. Smell the furnace. It's on the piece itself.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you meant by blue light. Okay.
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said it's white and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice reading light and then a standard light.
And it looks like the USB port's lit up too,
I think
like on the side, so you can see where you're plugged in.
Meow.
Yeah, you can smell it.
Yeah. The smell will dissipate, but
Right,
yeah,
it's-
it's brand new.
New car smell.
Yeah, exactly. New furnace smell.
And then
Did you bring your USB in to try it?
No, I don't need it.
That your head unit. All I would care about personally is the Bluetooth, and you have the option.
Yeah. Well, he also has music on a USB. Would that work?
Cool. All right. I think that is an input for data. It might just be a charging port. Out. I think it's for data. See, I'm the same way. I still like to have music physically to some degree in my own possession.
Well, because we also have it like categorized and
Right,
like
yeah.
so if he wants to have his
Are you into
playlist.
audio and everything?
No.
Okay. I am somewhat.
I mean,
I just like to have all my
I like
playlists.
my music, but
Depending on the mood, I like to change which playlist I'm playing. So.
Right.
oh, it gets warm in here. Quick.
Yeah.
No problem heating this thing. Your head unit remote. So zone 1, press and hold, is your interior. Zone 2, which is already on, is your exterior.
Are those speakers outside too?
Yep. Got two speakers outside. Pressing once mutes it.
Oh, that's where the remote comes in handy. So, I mean, but do you have to put it through the window to?
No, it's not
fix
gonna.
it?
It's not gonna reach through there. No.
Oh.
Don't believe it would. Otherwise, headphone out, aux cord in, HDMI. So, and there goes the furnace finally shutting off. Even after you turn it off, it still, of course, blows a bit to actually get the hot air out. TV remote, stereo remote. Yep, that's it. So your TV, it's a Roku Smart TV. I don't watch TV personally, but I think you need to make a Roku.
I mean, does it have like other apps that you could do on like Netflix and all that other?
Yeah. It might be more of what a list is Hulu, Apple TV, Disney.
Oh, this is the same what the gym has. The same remote. Right.
So you need to make a Roku account though, I think, and that's the
Controller.
The service it uses.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have antenna or a cable hookup. If you are using cable or antenna, make sure this button is depressed, because otherwise, it's a hard cut for it. Or it should be. There you go. So make sure that's actually pressed.
Okay.
documentation for every single individual appliance, the overall owner's manual, everything is in here. Moving onwards, the microwave, which is 110 only, you have to be plugged in to use it, just for the nature of it. Your range hood, which does actually exhaust out, also light. Your range.
And this is what I want, because everybody says they have a hard time lighting this.
No, the oven, yes. The top,
Right.
no. There is some air in the line, so it may take just a moment. But you throw it to the pilot light, and it's already flowing. The propane get here. Okay, that's all for that. Your temp control or flame control. Now, the oven portion does take longer, especially with it being new. Before we get there, you saw the safety light, which is nice.
Right.
So you know
If it's on, yeah.
Which there is a LP detector in here, so God forbid you got to that point. But turning it on is also a nice little nighttime running light. Bottom is that, plus your oven light. So with the oven, putting it on the pilot light, it's not throwing any propane. You do have to hold, and this will take a bit. Just gonna let that get some propane there. It will light though. So as I'm holding that, you have your fuse panel, 12 volt side, 110 side here. Very simple, not a lot going on. Everything's labeled. There should be LEDs in these. I'm not gonna take it out, but there should be LEDs that
It might be ready, because that smells propane now.
Yes.
Did it go?
Yes.
How do you know it went?
Let's see the.
You can see a pilot light down there.
Oh, okay.
And then let it rip. Jump across the plate.
Okay.
Yeah, usually they take a bit to get started, but this too, I would let it burn off for a while before using it. As you can see, some are smokier than others.
So basically, that's all the space you have to cook in, right here.
Yeah, it's not quite big enough for a turkey or anything.
Lasagna pan. That's all of it.
Pizza.
Yeah. Well, it depends on a small pizza, because it's not gonna be deep enough for the. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the lowest rack.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have. But
We got an air fryer.
Yeah.
you can always bring accessories like that. Yeah. So in here, they're giving you instructions for the water pump if you were winterizing the unit. Are you local?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever foresee your? I don't know. Well,
I don't like cold.
fair enough.
I don't think we'll be going any.
Yeah, well, the winterization is only for if you're going to be storing it somewhere cold, which down here, when we get to below freezing, it's for a very short period of time. Part of the winterization process, I'm not even sure if I should even go over this, but because for how you're going to be using it, but you don't want any water in the lines, everything's cracking. You have two options of doing it. It's either you blow everything out with compressed air, which is kind of a pain in the ass, or you fill it with antifreeze.
Right.
So to do so, you pump it in, and there's a feeder hose on the water pump, and you pump it in from there. And there's other procedures. At the water heater itself, you want to block the in and out of the water heater, and there's a jumper line that bypasses it. You want to drain the water heater. There's a variety of steps you want to take.
Well, even if you went over that right now, I just use
That's why.
I know, but I'll just use it.
No, but you should though. Yeah,
Yeah.
They'll do it more succinctly than I
Yeah.
probably could. But yeah, if you're going to be storing it somewhere cold, then winterize it. But down here, it's not really, it's not a concern down here really.
It's either gonna be here or Charleston. So.
Yeah, it's not a concern. So your fridge, I like these 12 volt fridges. There's a lot that are AC and propane, so you have to be plugged in or you have to be using propane. This is only 12 volt, so as long as that battery is fed, so is this. It's so much simpler. It's not at its full time right now because it hasn't been running all day. I put it on the highest setting. But it's a pretty adequate size. It's not residential, but it's
still pretty good.
It's really nice.
Well, again, if your framework you're thinking of is camping, then this is fantastic. I mean, you got plenty.
Yeah.
For
Plenty of
the
stuff.
4-day festival, there's enough food that'll.
Yeah, right. Definitely. So
Plenty of room to freeze bottles of water.
Free to buzzer for the day's walks. Yep. Well, at least if you camp during the festival, you can come back to the camper.
they do include. It should be in the bag. This little stanchion base here, the little socket.
Yep.
You have a little stanchion that pops in there, so when after you're done
Oh, so
using
you
it,
lock it.
so it can defrost and not, you don't come back to a biohazard of
Right.
mold and everything. So that's nice that they include that. You already mentioned before, you're aware, this drops down to be a bed. This mechanism, yeah, it's one of these, so you just undo those latches and they just...
Yeah, I tried to do that the other day, and I wasn't able to get it down.
Some have legs that just pop out and then it rests on some ledges. I haven't used one of these in a while, let's see. I ruined the video.
That's alright. Temporary blackout.
Should be. There we go. Just relatch it. And then put your cushions on top. Yep. So, the weight rating it specifies. We'll look at it again in a second, but I think it says 75 pounds. But of course, that's just the table. The
Right.
weight's going to be dispersed.
Distribute.
But don't put it on too heavy on it, I suppose. But also, it might be one of those more so legal things than reality things. I'm not seeing one. I believe it's a fairly light rating, though. But I suppose you could put some blocks under it or something if you really wanted to.
So you think the bunks have a higher weight?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those are at least 300. Well, I want to say that. I think they should be 300.
I thought she said 300 to 5 even. Maybe that's just the bottom one.
I think they're at least 300. And non-alcoholic, sorry.
Yeah, right.
Is 15 foot long enough?
I haven't really been at many campsites, honestly. I think it should be from what I've seen. But what you might want to get, though, too, because I hear they're starting to mandate them, is they sell little stanchion bases things that you run
Right.
those across. So they're starting to really want those. So that might be something you want to get.
I want to make that as simple as possible.
And clean as possible.
It's the least glamorous part of it. Yes, and from a tech perspective, yes, it's the least fun part of the job is working on black things. So. And we'll go over maintenance, some partial maintenance, preventive for that, and various other things. Probably you're only detecting. Well, I got 2 detectors in here. Yeah, 2 smoke detectors.
And that's the that also detects the
No.
propane.
No, because that sinks. It's heavier than air.
Okay.
So they should have placed that somewhere about. Come across it. It's a little black box.
That's what I was saying. I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
It's a little black box. Maybe, oh, there it is. It's under the one.
Oh,
No?
okay.
So yeah, your bunks. Does that one fold up? A lot of them do. Yeah, it looks like it should.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think this folds up. I don't think so. No, it doesn't.
Ah.
Some do. So you just have this little storage space underneath. So. Exhaust fan.
So the best way to get to the top bunk without,
I've
I mean, how?
already found a ladder I'm going to get.
I know, but I'm saying your son's just gonna jump up.
No, he's not. He's going to use the damn ladder.
Yeah, they decided not to include it with this.
Yeah, because I think last time I just stepped up here, and
Yeah,
then went up.
I'd be careful stepping on this. Stepping this too far or mess that up.
So I'm going to get a.
Well, you did. Just throw the ladder underneath.
Yeah.
And that opens, or?
This does. It's a little twisty twist.
Oh.
Off you go. They sell vent covers.
Can I reach?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Vent covers.
Yeah, it's just a shroud that goes over it, so that way
Okay.
you can have it open in the rain if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Moving to
You got an emergency exit back
yes, and it's a usable
so
window.
you throw everybody out up in the bunkers? No. Well, I guess if it's on its side.
God forbid. But it is a usable window. You just pull a latch around it, and it doesn't just fall out like some fire escapes do.
Yeah.
Bathroom, the same exhaust fan and vent setup. There's a switch on it itself. There's no reason to use that. So you got one here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little vanity setup. Window operation. You saw me use that one before.
Yeah.
You also have this pinch type. So your shower stall. I will say pay attention as time goes on. Eventually, you may start noticing a crack in the ceiling up here. In fact, you got one little splatter there I want to touch up. You're good otherwise. I see a lot where they start to detach. Not the end of the world. We don't want to get water back there.
Right.
How often should I look for that?
Time frame, I can't really say. Just pay attention overall. Not the most tall person friendly.
That's what I was saying. Your brother John might.
I'm not tall, and I'm already in the shoes, of course. But yeah, I got not too much more. So these shower doors are nice. They work. They're self-squeegeeing. There's one main caveat. So it just latches in the frame. But the thing is, though, if you bump into this, this one's actually pretty solid. But I've had it in the past. That'll happen. It'll scare the bejesus out of you. If that does occur and it's bothersome, you can of course just bend this frame inwards, get a better latch.
Yeah.
But this one actually feels pretty good though. Pretty nice linen storage. I don't think we have the water pump on right now. Do you mind putting that on quick, the water pump, or verifying that's on? I think I turned it off.
You're testing him to see if he paid attention.
I'm actually not, but it's working that way. It wasn't intentional, but it's working that way. Is it on?
I hear something.
Okay, alright. So, flush toilet. You got your ball valve. Now, of course, you should use it like, you can touch it just barely.
Right.
Get the water first, and then use it. That's, of course, much more sanitary. And then dump it. Black tanks are a thing to keep some preventative maintenance and good habits with. I guess we'll go over that more when we go on the outside. But yeah, there's a few tips you want to do with black tanks. Soft shut lids and no slamming. It's kind of silly, but we don't install the TP holder. Leave it up to the customer for personal preference. Or,
oh, lefty or righty or something.
yeah, I've seen people put it on the door.
Now,
Right in front of you.
as far as like what you can put down in that toilet, what can you put down in
Like bathroom wipes is what.
Well, I can't give a full conclusive breakdown on that. Just be selective. And they do sell.
RV toilet paper. I saw
Yeah.
that. I didn't know if they had RV wipes.
They probably do. They probably do. As for the toilet paper, and obviously it's a thin ply.
Yeah.
Is it that much different than just like normal household thin ply? I don't know. I'm sure they charge a lot more for it. Though,
Oh, right, because it's right.
RV.
Right.
So just buy a regular
So-
roll, split it in half. No.
I mean, do some research, but don't be jamming down like
Right.
Bounty.
thick. Yeah, definitely not Bounty. I was gonna say thick Charmin.
Right.
Definitely not Bounty. You will have problems though.
And you would be the one dealing with it.
Me or one of my coworkers, yes. So be careful of what you put down there. And there's products for keeping it clean. Commando is one I see a lot. Commando tablets. Throw it in, especially if you're gonna be, well, I was gonna say if you're gonna be traveling, have it slosh around, which you should, I guess. After you dump it, after you flush it, you can fill it up with some water, toss those in as you're going down the road, and really helps break things up. So they have products like that. We'll go over some more tips once we get to the outside. As far as the inside for remaining things, I mean, it pretty much covers the basics. As for interior maintenance, there isn't much. I mean, it's a house on wheels. Just be mindful of your interior and treat it well. If this has been running for a while, don't drop the glass right away. I've also had customers light it with the glass down, which sounds really silly, and obviously explodes. It's just nests in there. Which sounds silly, but I can see it happening if you have some company and maybe a few beers. And
There's no disposal, right? It's just like garbage disposal.
No garbage.
Okay. So no, I'm just wondering like what we need to make sure that people know that too.
There's one thing, because I was going to ask if they gave you adequate space for a bin. A short one, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple short ones in there, or you could remove the shelf if you wanted to.
No, I think we're gonna put the trash can right there.
You could, yeah.
And then over here we're gonna put the Keurig and air
Oh.
fryer while it's travel.
Yeah, that's what it is. But you also have that. Well, I guess that's
That's where the
pans.
pots and pans are.
Yeah.
Yes. What more do you need?
No, for camping, this is way more than
The only thing I would do is maybe put another Velcro over here, so when you close it, like it stays. Well, I guess the Velcro or something to.
Yeah, that's a small mod.
Yeah.
Small modification you can do.
Yeah. See, my modifications are cheap. Mine's just.
I'm getting accordion for you.
He wants to change this out to accordion.
I totally can. I mean, that's something if you're handy at all and you understand that everything's just parts.
Yeah.
It's not like this big monolith. It's everything's little tiny parts put together. You can modify it to stuff like that. Change countertops and everything you want. The vents are rotatable, of course. Well, not of course, but they are. In a small space like this, again, you really don't need central air, but they did it. What kind of blind type do you have? I prefer these. These seem to break less. There's a similar style that seems to have more issues.
Oh, this thing gets dark.
I know, that's what I was saying, the blackout ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The only thing that doesn't black out is that.
Oh.
And there are shades for those, but I forget if the door has to be compatible beforehand. But I know there are rigs where you can.
Now we can get something that goes over this. We have a dog that
Oh yeah.
Likes to scratch when he goes out, when he wants to go out.
Yeah, this won't hold up too well to that. I'm not aware of any products, but I'd be shocked if there isn't. And
Yeah, but you'd be taking away the mesh part of it if you put, like, say, a plexiglass.
No, there's like a metal. I think I've seen them. It's like a metal.
Oh,
goes
just to
down
prevent them from put it once and then stop.
Huh?
It's like,
there's definitely a huge overlap between camper owners and dog owners.
yeah.
So I'm sure that product exists. If not, you could devise something.
Yeah.
There's motion lights in this unit in various places. Here's one of them. So the one, of course, is on. Those, of course, is off. The two is the motion sense. So for an application like entry door, could be
good.
cool.
Yeah, hands are full.
But being in a small space like this, it might actually get annoying because it might pick it up
Oh.
here or something. But the option's there.
I think they got them back here too.
I think those are just standard.
Those are just on and off, I think.
You might
Say like
have-
this one.
Yeah, you might have more up in the front storage compartment. That would be the other location they have them. Well, I think I'm going to conclude inside there. If I think of anything else, I'll bring it up. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Did
Slide it open.
This part?
Yep.
Okay.
The tinier latch, pull.
This one?
Yeah, pull that out like that. From the inside.
Oh.
Out.
Like
No,
that?
that's the deadbolt. So that is the deadbolt.
Okay.
You do need to know that. Let's do that.
Oh, okay.
It's locked. You locked this in. Or I locked this in, rather. As you already saw, two-piece door, screen door. So that is nice.
He did that so much quicker than we did.
That's the one. That's the thing we gotta find out about.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like, how does it come fully out?
Yeah, sure. So, these little latches. And this is the one I think that pulls up further. That's how we.
We got it that far, and that's as far as we got it. Ah, okay. Did you see how he did that?
You gotta actually, they don't give you the best hand.
I was looking for like some sort of like latch or lock underneath.
This is
The
actual
griddle.
surface. This especially being outside, these have a tendency to attract some corrosion. So be aware of that, could be seasoned and oil, all that. So every time you want to use this, you have your LP line, which just tucks away back here. You can drop that down there. Have the dust cap caught. Here we go. Yeah, then you drop that down to the quick disconnect down there. Press in, out, valve on. And then the light and the propane function are in the same throw. Careful. So. Definitely cool to have. Make some nice burgers out here.
Yeah. In the mini fridge.
Yes, that's the beer fridge. That's Dad's medicine cabinet.
Right.
Anything of note under here? Otherwise, no. All your stabilizers, not jacks, stabilizers, just for taking the rock out of it. I would just, they give you a crank, I would just use a drill, impact, 3/4 attachment.
I've got a,
Yeah, it's done. So that's what I would do.
What's that?
slowly though, right?
No, they zip on by pretty quickly. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on your drill, but they should. Quick disconnect spray port hose should be up front. Cold water only. Don't have the Awning out right now, but if I did, there's arms, little adjustable arms on both sides. You just pull or retract or push. You can change the pitch of it, so you can jet water off one side or something. Moving towards the rear, bumper caps. This is where you typically would store your sewer hose. The bumper caps should be in the black bag.
Okay, I was going to ask about that.
Yes. The water heater has been on this entire time, so not much to mess with here. So some of these have an anode rod, which is a, I forget what the metal composition is, but it deteriorates on purpose to help keep the tank clear. And every so often you gotta replace them. This you don't have to. This is part of the winterization process for draining it. Otherwise, nothing to touch there. Your blow-off valve, nothing to touch
So
there.
I don't have to worry about that at all?
No, you don't. That's just for draining the water heater.
Oh, okay.
That's all that's for. It's a 1-inch or 1/20 socket.
I know, but the thing that you
Oh no, you don't have that. No. You don't have that. We'll get you your temporary tag. Gotta make sure we do that. Although we are delivering this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Still get your tag though. One thing they kind of screw you on is they don't give you the same tire that's mounted
What's the difference in price on the tires?
compared to like normal
The
automotive.
Goodyear.
Well, I'm saying
The Goodyear ones.
the Goodyear tire versus that tire.
I'm sure it's, especially for the bean counters, I'm sure it's notable. I mean, it's a much nicer rim, it's a better tire. I can't say price-wise, I'm not sure. But it's definitely more. By default, they're nitrogen filled. You have the option of a backup camera if you so desired. If you were to do that, I would not don't pay someone to install that. It's just one freaking plug. That's all it is. This is your cord, the 30 amp hookup. You might, well, I would say maybe one extension cords, but this should be sufficient for any campsite you're at. But you might want to have an extension cord just in case. They sell adapters to go from 110, like normal household outlets, to this. They sell 50 amp to 30 amp. So these are all things, depending on how much traveling you're going to be doing, you may want in your toolbox just to give you some more utility. But for now, you're okay.
I mean, I should only need like a 30 amp hookup for this, right?
That's all you should need. But if you're traveling a lot and you're at a site that
Only has
It a
50.
amp.
I mean, you should never encounter that. But
Yeah.
if it's down, I don't know. It's nice to have, but it's not necessary now. I would probably prioritize getting a 110 to 30 before I would get a 50 to 30.
Oh, okay.
So your dump valves, right here. So we went over before. Sewage, sink and shower. Sinks and shower. So as soon as you pull
Oh, it's
that,
a gray and black. Okay, I
Yep.
see. Yeah.
as soon as you pull that, off it goes.
So get gloves.
Gloves, and do not pull that handle without this cap being open. Next time you go there, it's not going to be fun. They do sell additional attachments for another valve here, so that would essentially never happen then. So every time you leave the campsite, first let me say this. If you're at the campsite, you may think, well, I'm hooked up, your sewage hose is hooked up and everything, let me just keep the black valve open. You don't want to do that. It's gross, but you actually want to build up some waste first and then send it out to have that weight behind it.
Right.
Because if you don't, it will just start.
Trickle down and then
It'll
you
just
just
build up.
yeah.
It will just build up, and then you got to
Clean
that.
it.
So that's one thing. So if you can, do it at the end of your trip. If not, wait till the tank's like at least a third, but 2/3 are full, and then dump it. It's a good habit to get into doing the gray tank after the black tank as well. They only meet here,
Right.
but it would help keep this clean. Flushing your black tank is also something you should be doing. So this is just a straight jet into the black tank. So ideally also at the end of every camping trip, you should flush your tank. Do so, I mean technically you can, but you can do it with the valve closed. Do so though with the valve open as you're flushing, and just keep running it till it runs clear, till that black tank water is clear. And that'll just help keep your sensors clear and everything, so you don't develop any problems down the road.
So where is the sensor that was inside about tells you how full that is?
Right, it's
Okay.
4. There's a ground, a third, and 2/3 full.
Okay.
And prevent any problems, you want to keep it
So
clean.
would you fill it up and then release it and then just run it through then?
Fill it up with,
You're saying like with the jet?
so
right,
fill it up so it's all
right, and,
and
and,
then rinse it.
that's, just be careful. I've done that too, and it is good to do that. But if your attention slips, if you have that tank flush on and that valve's closed, worst case scenario, you blow up your black tank, just like a bomb in there. Best case scenario, it comes up through the toilet. So I have done that though, just to get the bit up top and then dump it. So just play it by ear and be careful. Generally, they recommend leaving the valve open and then doing it. But flushing your tank is definitely something you want to do regularly. There's a light switch somewhere.
Yeah, I see the blue light.
Yeah, it's somewhere, probably in the front storage compartment, probably.
Oh, okay.
There are some low point drain valves. Another part of winterization or storage. It gets the very last bit of stubborn water out of the low points of the system.
Right.
So if you're storing it or winterizing it, you want to open those, get the water out,